Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing my favorite brushes video, and I have so many brushes out right now. They range from Morphe to Sigma, there's some Anastasia, there's some Smith. I honestly feel like I get a ton of questions on my videos asking like what are my favorite brushes, or what brushes do I like for what, or what are some of the brands that I like. So I thought I would just kind of sit down and film all of the brushes that I like. I have them organized by like eyes. I have foundation brushes, concealer, powder, blush, contour, and highlighting. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. Okay, so first I'm going to start with foundation. And there are 3 brushes here, and they are all from Sigma. The one thing I want to say at the beginning of this video is I do have a coupon code for Sigma. I don't have a coupon code for Morphe. But you guys know that there are a ton of other YouTubers out there who do, so if some of these brushes you guys end up liking that are Morphe, you guys can just go ahead and use one of their codes and save yourself some money. But I do have a code for Sigma, and it's just my name, which is Brandon. It's always listed in the description bar. Along with all of these brush names, they'll be listed down there too, so if you guys specifically like any of them, they will be listed down below so you guys can go ahead and pick them up on the website. The first brush that I want to talk about I did use in my last tutorial, and that is the Sigma F82, which is a round top kabuki. I think this is great for cream. I think that this foundation brush worked really well with the Makeup Forever foundation. Honestly, it didn't soak up too much product, and it did move the foundation really nice and even across my skin without any brush strokes. I know that that's something that I am very picky on. I don't like brush strokes, so the brushes that have like this like synthetic hair aren't going to give you any brush strokes. So you want to make sure you're not using a natural hair brush with like liquid or cream, because you will get A, streakiness, and B, all the natural hair will absorb all of your liquid, and then you'll be left with like no foundation on your skin. So this is the Sigma F82. It's just like a dome shaped brush. Sorry that my brushes are dirty. I just didn't want to clean them all and then you guys think, oh my god, you're just talking about brushes that you have a code for, or you're just talking about brushes that you were sent. No, I want to show you guys that I actually use these. These brushes are made so well. I gotta say, the next brush that I'm going to talk about, I have had for years. I mean, I've had this brush for years. I have multiple, but I have had this brush for years and I still use it to this day, and I honestly really love it. This is like my tried and true, like if I was stuck on a desert island and only got to pick one foundation brush, this guy would be it, and that's the Sigma F80 Flat Top Kabuki. Honestly guys, if you want your foundation to look smooth, flawless, and airbrushed on your skin, this brush is for you. It's honestly gorgeous. I love that these brushes are so densely packed, like, so your product doesn't slip through. It honestly rests on top, and then you can just buff it right into the skin, and I honestly really love them for that. And like I said, these don't absorb too much of your product. Brushes do absorb product. It's how the world works, but honestly, the synthetic ones absorb a lot less than the natural hair ones if you guys are looking for that. Another one I wanted to throw in here is something that I just feel like it's just kind of, it's easy to use, I guess, and this is the Sigma 3D HD Kabuki. Like, just look at this. It's so perfect for getting right up here. You can use this for concealer. I do have a concealer version of this, which I don't use for concealer. You can use it to like blend out your concealer. You can use it to kind of put concealer down here, cream contour, just do your foundation around your eyebrows. I mean, if you do your brows first, like I do, you could just honestly do it right around your brows and call it a day. This brush is amazing too. They're kind of all like the same brush, except like in different forms. Like this is just a flat top, this is the HD, and like this one is the round one. Also, like even before Sigma knew who I was, and like I had a coupon code and I was affiliated with them and everything, like before they even knew who I was, like I honestly have been buying their brushes for so long because their quality just like stands out to me from like all the other brushes that I've used. And honestly, all of these brushes quality is amazing to me. I haven't had any issues. Like I've washed them many of times and I have not had any hair fall out, and the brushes are actually like staying to the form that they're supposed to be. So I only have one concealer brush because honestly guys, I do use a beauty blender a lot, and I did like, this was so dirty right now, but I wanted to just show you guys. My beauty blender is kind of like my ride or die. I honestly will use it for foundation and concealer a lot. But there are some times where I want more of a full coverage look because a beauty blender will really absorb a lot of your product. So when I want to do like a really like full coverage under eye, I will use the Sigma Concealer Blend Kabuki, which is the F79. This is definitely one of their new ones that has come out. I did use this in my highlight contour video. If you guys haven't seen that, it's on my channel. You just scroll like a couple back and it's on there. But I did love this. I honestly feel like this blends out concealer without any issue. I honestly just go dab, 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 and it's like blended out. Like there's not effort with this. Like I don't need to sit there and blend for days to get it to get my concealer to blend out nicely. Like honestly, just a little bit of like tapping with this and it's like perfect and very full coverage underneath my eye, which you guys know I love. I love full coverage looks. I honestly just feel like what is the point of wearing like a foundation or a concealer if it's not going to be full coverage? Just saying. Okay, so next is going to be my two powder brushes that I love. So one is going to be for my whole entire face. This one you guys are not even going to believe me because this is seriously my favorite brush and I've used this for years. And this is the e.l.f. Complexion brush. I use this to set my whole entire face every single day of my life. I haven't tried a powder brush that works better than this and I honestly haven't even need to. Like I haven't really like looked to try another powder brush because I really like this one. It's very densely packed. These are all dirty. Like don't judge me. But it's very densely packed. It honestly just molds the powder right into my skin. It does not rest on top. I'm obsessed. I really, really am. I love this brush. It's like $3. Like $3 or $1 or however much it is. Honestly, guys, that's probably the best $1 or $3 I've ever spent in my whole entire life. I promise you that. It's probably the best $3, $2 I've ever spent. Honestly. Next is going to be what I use to set my under eye with. I use this under my eyes every single day. I have a Morphe brush version of this and I have the Sigma version. Honestly, I like the Sigma version better. I just think that it's a lot like softer. I noticed with the brush hair like this, when I push this underneath my eye, it's a lot more like soft. But when I use the Morphe one, it's like, it feels like hard and it's like, feels like it's jabbing me. But this is the Sigma Tapered Highlighting F35. I literally use this with my powder right underneath my eye, all the way down and all the way back. And this is perfect. This brush is honestly the best. It's so small. It fits right underneath there. And you can just press the powder. I've used this in every single tutorial. I really don't even need to talk about it that much, but I use this in every single tutorial that I've ever filmed here on my YouTube channel. Maybe not every single one, but like very recently, the F35 is what I've been using and I'm completely and utterly obsessed with it. Next is going to be bronzing. I have two brushes here. The NYX 02 brush. Honestly, I'm not even sure where they sell this. They could sell it online. I did get it in a pressed package, like I've said before. But this brush is amazing. If you want to bronze your skin, I honestly will just use this to bronze my whole entire forehead. It's very fast, very quick. It's dense, it's soft, and it doesn't absorb, and it doesn't come out streaky. Like, honestly, I've been wondering if my, like, contour has been off lately. This brush was causing it, but that's because I just freshly washed it. But honestly, once you get using this, it's just like, it blends everything out. I used it to bronze my forehead today and bronze my whole face. I didn't really use it to contour that much because it's like big and fluffy, so it just kind of blends all over. The next one I use to strictly contour, and that's the Morphe M523. So this brush is perfect for contouring. Honestly, the M523 from Morphe, it just gets right into the hollows of my cheek. You do want to apply like light pressure though, honestly, because I have noticed if you do press a little bit hard, you will get like a very sharp line and it'll kind of look like you got punched in the face. So just really lightly kind of just buff out your contour in circular motions. This brush is amazing and I've recently come to love this a lot. Next brush has quickly become an instant favorite of mine. Honestly, it's probably like a ride or die. Like I think I did throw this in my ride or die maybe. This is the Smith 118 brush. I use this for blush. It's so perfect. It's like a flat. It's not really flat, but it's like very like thin, I guess you could say, and like paddle shape, I guess. So I literally just apply the blush on the apples of my cheek. It blends out things very nicely. The placement of the product turns out to be amazing. I've washed this brush several times also, so If you guys were thinking that Sigma is like great quality, it is, and so are the Smith brushes. I've used, I have a lot of their, not a lot, I have like a handful of their brushes here right now, and I've washed them several times, and I honestly really like them. I haven't had any issues with them at all. Like, I haven't had any issues with like the barrel coming like undone, or you know what I mean, when you like wash them, sometimes the glue like unsticks and then you have like the handle popping off. I haven't had any issues, and I think the quality of these are nice. They are a little bit more on the expensive side, but I honestly think that the money is worth it. So next are highlighting brushes, and I have two here. The first one you guys know, and I'm just going to briefly mention because I do talk about it and use it a lot. That's the Anastasia A23 brush. I don't know what it is. I don't know what is in this magic, but it's seriously so good. It will place my highlight so well. And I think it's just because of the shape of it. Honestly, the shape is just like perfect. And it highlights my cheeks very well. I use this almost every single day. Like, I kind of alternate between these two. But honestly, I do love this brush. It really does make my highlight beam, and it applies the most product exactly where I want it. And I don't kind of have like highlight all over my cheek. So there's that. The next one I want to talk about, people have talked about and probably raved on the internet for a while. It's the Morphe M501. Jaclyn Hill definitely turned me onto this brush. I was watching her a while ago. She was using this, so I definitely picked it up because of her. And it's very small. It gets right on the apples of your cheeks and kind of works backwards. The only thing about this one is it is very small. Another problem that I've had with this one, just a little bit, is when I wash it, it kind of gets like a little like misshapen. It's very cheap, but I feel like for the money that I paid for it, the quality is as good as it's going to get for that money. But honestly, I do like this brush a lot for highlighting. We're done with face brushes. We are going to go directly to the eyes, and I'm just going to kind of grab them like handful wise and just go from there since there's a lot of them. The first one that I want to start with, which is honestly my favorite brush of all time, and I start every single makeup look when I'm doing it on camera or off camera, and that is the Sigma Tapered Blending E40. This is great for transition shades. I honestly just stick this right in my crease with a transition shade, and I always start with this brush. I never ever start a look without using this brush. The E40 is amazing. I literally have 4 of them. I have 4 because honestly I couldn't have enough. It's very fluffy, so that's why I like using that brush for transition shades. The next brush that I want to talk about is kind of very similar, and that's the E38 from Sigma. It's just a smaller condensed version. I really like this for applying like some crease shades, or even just applying a darker transition shade where I want to kind of deepen my crease a little, but I don't want to make it sharp and defined. I will use the E38 kind of just to focus it more directly in the crease, but still have the fluffiness to blend it out, and there's not a stark line there. I'm going a little bit out of order, but we're just rolling with it. So the Sigma E36, I really like this brush for 2 things. I like it for smoking out my lower lash line because it's very small and very flimsy, so you can kind of just blend things out. And I also like this for highlighting the inner corner of my eye when I don't have like dirty product on it. But I do like using this to highlight the inner corner of my eye because it's very small and flimsy, so I can kind of just highlight the inner corner without disrupting any of lashes or anything that I have on. So that is like kind of a multi-use for this. I really like that. Or if you are looking to blend out a cut crease, this would be great because it is so small, and if you apply like a dark shade to it, it will be so focused in your crease you won't have to worry about it blending too high or being too messy. Next brush is going to be the E30 from Sigma. That is a pencil brush. I have kind of some multi-uses for this. I like to use this to highlight my inner corner. I also like to use this to apply black to my lower lash line. Or I like to use this to kind of just give myself like a smoky wing. So let's say I wanted to do like a smoked out wing liner. I would apply my like gel or liquid liner, and then I would take some black shadow and kind of just smudge it. That is great for this one. So it's definitely like a multi-use for the E30 from Sigma. I like when brushes have like multi-uses so you don't have to like use them for just one thing. Okay, so next I love the E18 from Morphe. That is just a pencil brush. Today I use that to highlight my inner corner. I also use this to smoke out my lower lash line. Once I have applied like a black shade or anything, I will take like either my transition shade or something, and I will just go ahead and smoke my lower lashes out. I really do like this brush. It's very small, very densely compact. very densely packed. And I think Morphe has some great brushes. I need to purchase some more. So if you guys have any brushes that I have not talked about from either Morphe, Sigma, or anywhere else, leave them down below and I will definitely pick some up because I love your guys' suggestions. Alright, so next is going to be the Morphe M441. This is beautiful for a transition shade also. I really like this brush. It's very, very, very fluffy and it fits right in my crease. You guys see, like, perfectly. So I really go back and forth between the Morphe M441 and the Sigma E40. Those two are my favorite brushes for transition shades. I honestly just think that they blend shadow out nicely. Sometimes I'll even go in and if I'm doing like a cut crease or I just need a brush to blend shadow out, I will honestly just use that because they both work amazing. So the next brushes I'm going to talk about are from Smith, and the first one is the Smith 235, and I've used this a lot recently. It is kind of shaped like a triangle. It has like a point to it, and I think that this is great for crease work. So honestly, I will use all of my dark shadows, like with this. If I want something a little bit more defined, I will use it to apply it to my outer corner here, and then I will drag it through my crease because it will stay focused in my crease because these brushes aren't like fluffy, so you're not gonna have to worry about them like blending it out. This is just going to kind of keep your shadow focused and kind of give you like a sharp line. So you'll definitely want brushes to blend that out with. These are both the Smith 235s. I honestly needed two of them. I really, really, really like them. That's hence why I got two of them. I think that they work really, really well. And if you need something to kind of define your crease, or if you're doing a cut crease, or if you are wanting to do like a very dark smoky eye, I think those are really great for that. So the next brush that I want to talk about is the Sigma E25. I use this one a lot also. This is very, very dense. The bristles are really tightly packed in here. That's why I like this brush a lot. I will use this also for darker shadow. This brush right here and the Smith 235s I use kind of simultaneously. I do kind of switch up. I don't always use the same brush, but honestly, these are my staple brushes that I always gravitate towards when I'm doing an eye look. So some of them I don't use all of these brushes at once. Some of them I use for the same thing. Those are my two favorite options for that, if that makes any sense. So the next brush I want to talk about is the Smith 235. This brush is very, very, very small. This is very similar to the Sigma E25, except it's definitely a lot smaller. I really like this brush, like I said, for crease work, applying a lot of dark shadow. Also for blending out the lower lash line, this one works great because it is small. And it is a little bit more on the fluffy side, so it will blend out shadow a lot better than some of the other ones that are a little bit more on the stiff side. But this one is definitely fluffy, and you can blend out your lower lash line or crease work. Kind of use that one for a lot of different things. Okay, the next brush I want to talk about is the Sigma Flat Definer E15. This brush I absolutely am obsessed with. I do have two of these, or three. I do have a lot. So there's a couple different uses I have for these. Sometimes I'll take brow powder and I will use this to kind of just fill in my brows like sparsely. If I want to fill in my brows a little bit more without doing like a sharp brow, I will take brow powder in this E15. Just kind of dust the powder through and call it a day. Also, I'll use this to smoke out my lower lash line. I will apply like a black shade because this is so perfect to get right into my lash line. I really like using this. I also like using this to kind of set any liner that I may have in my waterline. I don't apply liner in my waterline because it always transfers, so I will usually just take a black or whatever color I use in my waterline and just set it so I don't have to worry about it traveling anywhere. So this brush also is amazing, and I have so many of them, so that's definitely a staple in my collection. The next brush is the Sigma 3D HD Precision Concealer brush, but I use this one to apply my eyeshadow primer. I use the MAC Paint Jelly Paint Pot, and that's like a cream based, so I always will use this to apply it. This is great because it fits right in here, and I can apply all the way up to my brow bone with eyeshadow primer. This is the only brush I use that for. You could also use this brush to cream contour, or you can cream highlight. Whatever you guys do, but I really don't cream contour or highlight, so that's what I use this brush for, is eyeshadow primer. Okay, so the next brush is the Anastasia number 18 brush. This is very similar to the MAC 242 brush. I mean, literally exactly identical, so that's exactly what I use it for. This is meant to be a concealer brush, so I have used this before to conceal underneath my brow to make it sharp, but I mostly use this for shimmer or glitter shadow. This is amazing. I will spray this a lot and I will apply glitter shadow. This will immensely pack on shadow, which I love. I will use this sometimes to apply black, just like straight black for a smoky eye. This picks up the product and it places it exactly where I want it to, and I love it. So I don't know if any of you guys have tried any Anastasia brushes, but you better get on it because I honestly love this so much. The next brush is a Sigma E35. And that is the liner brush. This is my favorite and only brush that I will use for gel liner. I think that it's super small. It works so well. I don't like the ones that have like the hair, like that are like actual like natural hair. Those don't work at all. They just like cut my skin and like are sharp, but this is like synthetic. So this just glides the liner on flawlessly. I did use this in my last tutorial when I did my winged liner, and if you guys see, it applied the gel liner amazing, and it really gave me that really sharp cat eye like I like. I like to be in control of my liner, and this brush definitely lets me stay in control. Alright guys, my final brush that I want to talk about, and I don't even know where this is from. Well, I know where it's from. I just think that it's super old, but I really had to mention it because I use this so much. This is from Morphe, I'm pretty sure. I bought this way back when Morphe kind of like just started out, and nobody really knew who Morphe was. There's like no brush name on it, there's no brush number, but I use this all the time to conceal underneath my brows. I don't know, you guys never really see me do my brows on camera just because I always do my brows before, but this is my staple brush. It is a concealer brush, but I will use it to carve out my brows just because it is kind of like tapered to a point. So it really gives me that control underneath my brows to get them as sharp as I need them. So I will see if I can find out what the brush name of this is, but honestly they probably have changed it and sell like a different brush for it. So I don't think that that brush exists anymore, but that is just what I use, and you guys can probably go to Morphe and see if you guys can find a similar brush to it. Okay guys, so that is all that I have for my favorite brushes video. I hope that this video wasn't too long, and like I said before, if there's any brushes that you guys would like to purchase, I do have a coupon code for Sigma, and you guys also can find a coupon code for Morphe. I'm pretty sure Jacqueline has one, Manny has one, Patrick has one, everybody has one. So if you like any of the Morphe brushes that you guys want to purchase, you guys can definitely also use one of their codes. Just to save yourself some money, obviously. I don't care about getting commission, honestly, as long as you guys are like saving money, because saving money is the best because that means you can buy more makeup. So that's all that I have for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I will be back with another makeup tutorial soon. I know that I asked you guys on Twitter that if you guys wanted to see a makeup tutorial or like a brushes video, and makeup tutorials did win. I just feel like I've had 3 makeup tutorials in the past like 3 weeks. I feel like I don't want to do all of my fall looks that I have stored in this brain. I don't want to do them all right now because we're still kind of trucking through fall. So, that's all that I have for this video, guys. I love you guys so much. Don't forget to subscribe. The button will be down there, and give this video a thumbs up. And I'll see you guys all in my next one. Mwah.